If you got pissed off by the title, then this video is for you. You have to be very careful about how you label yourself. What you label yourself with is crucial. You can't label yourself with things that are going to pull you down, right? And I think one thing that a lot of people label themselves with that pull them down is being an introvert. Yeah, you can see my fingers good enough. And I'm not denying the obvious reality that some people, oh, my social battery, and, I'm not that outgoing, whatever. But guess what? I would consider myself an introvert, but if I were to go into public setting with you, you would think, oh, wow, he's an extrovert. And that's the point. Some introverts would just look at me and go, wow, that guy has it all. He's naturally an extrovert. Right? No, I'm not naturally an extrovert. Believing that you're an introvert will immediately lead to you being less capable of going out and approaching people when you need to. Now, there's a lot of nuance here. All right. I'm talking about labeling yourself. That's the key here. For example, there's a lot of situations where you ask someone, "Well, why didn't you approach that girl?" Well, I'm introverted. That's the response, right? And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about someone who says, "Well, I'm naturally not that outgoing," because I'm not. I don't know. I would say that, but I would at the same time I wouldn't describe myself as an introvert or an extrovert. I describe myself as a businessman. I get business done. That's it. So if I need to go talk to that girl, I'm gonna go talk to that girl. If I need to go talk to that guy and get something or ask for napkins or whatever, I'm gonna go talk to them. Okay, I'm not gonna be like, well, I kind of don't want to. You know, you need to get this thinking out of your head that I'm an introvert and now I can't like talk to people like this. It's like some curse that's shoo, and it lands on you. It's like, oh, now I can't speak to people. No, 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 no. So that's why I say, just don't even call yourself an introvert. Just call yourself a person that you can call yourself a businessman like I do. You just talk to people when you need to, okay? You're just one of those people. Now, I'm not saying you have to be some guy who just is extremely outgoing. Like, if I don't have to talk to someone, I won't talk to them. Like, I'm not just gonna. Like, if my neighbor's mowing the lawn, and I go outside, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna walk the fence, like, hey, and start a conversation up with him. Like, I'm not like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to become like that. What I'm saying is, you have to be able to talk to people when you need to talk to people. You can't just use being, well, I'm an introvert as an excuse. That's not an excuse. And I know I'm going to say something controversial here. I mean, if you're a G and you're watching this channel, you're probably going to agree with this. But I know Andrew Tate got very negative feedback by saying, well, depression is not real. And his explanation was, he said, I only believe in things that give me power. Believing in depression is this uncurable disease or whatever doesn't give me power, so I don't believe in it. Essentially, that's to be a reductionist. That's a very condensed version of what he said, and it's true. And people don't understand that. People just say, "Oh, yeah, how can you say depression's not real?" But I agree with them. I don't believe depression is like some incurable disease that you just get and like, well, now I'm sad all the time and I can't do anything. No, that's just a blanket excuse. And that's what I'm talking about. The same thing with being introverted. Being an introvert is just a blanket excuse to do nothing with your life. To not go out and, seek things, strive for things. A lot of people just use an excuse. I know people in my life who don't do anything, right? They're losers. They don't talk to people, blah, 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 right? When you ask them, well, why don't you talk to people? It's like, well, I'm introverted. And it's like, bro, that is why you can't talk to people. It's not because you're an introvert. It's because you think you're an introvert. And that's the difference. And this is like the discipline hack I talked about. The way you think about things is important. In general, not just with labeling yourself, but in general, like towards discipline, getting things done. How you think about certain things is very important. When you think about introverts, like being an introvert is something you just are and you can't really change it, right? That's a problem because you're not gonna be able to fix any of the issues that come with being an introvert, right? You're not gonna be able to start approaching people. You're not gonna be able to start talking to people. Blah 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 blah. So from this day forward, you are no longer an introvert. You're just a person who talks to people when you need to, and you're not afraid to do so.